Hola, ¿qué tal? ¡Feliz domingo! Hoy voy a reaccionar a un video de Geography Now. Va a ser en inglés, pero no os preocupéis porque vamos a ponerles subtítulos. No sé si van a ser perfectos, pero bueno, si hay algunas, si hay algún problema con los subtítulos, puedo traducirles por los que no hablen tanto inglés. Bueno. Vamos a intentarlo, vamos a intentarlo. Esto es las regiones autónomas de España explicadas. Va a ser muy interesante. Bastante tiempo que quiero hacer un video de este tipo, pero bueno, dale, vamos a aprender algo nuevo.
We're working on the scripts of the next few country episodes, which means this is gonna be...
Y bueno, ha hecho también un video sobre las regiones de Italia y fue bastante bueno. Entonces... tengo muchas expectativas por esto.
a filler week. I already promised you guys a long time ago, that I would do the autonomous communities of Spain, sometimes called autonomies. Now, this is an interesting one because Spain is like one of the weirdest administratively divided nations on earth. Like, it's not a federation, but it's kind of like a very loosely held, decentralized, unitary state. What does that mean? Basically, they are one country, yes, but everybody just kind of like sticks to their clique and does what they want with minimal tribute to the centralized government. On top of that, Spain is also a figurehead monarchy. Like, they have a king, but...
Eso sí lo sabía, especialmente Islas Canarias, que he viajado muchas veces en el pasado y tiene un sistema de impuestos muy diferente del centro de España, ¿no?
His powers are limited. Within Spain, there are 17 autonomies and 2 autonomous cities, Ceuta and Melilla. Each autonomy has their own president, and the cities have president mayors.
Ceuta es la ciudad que queda dentro del continente africano, ¿no?
Ceuta and Melilla have the right to become autonomous communities, but they choose not to, probably because they're really incredibly small. All of the autonomies are divided into 4 categories: nationalities, regions, historical regions, and cities. Obviously, Ceuta and Melilla. What is a nationality? It's not exactly clearly defined within the constitution, but a nationality is basically an autonomous community where the inhabitants have a cultural and historical tie to the area, usually often linguistic as well. Within the autonomies, there are 9 nationalities. It gets a little confusing, but we'll explain. Like, right now, let's begin. First up, Andalusia. Capital, Sevilla. Status, nationality. Fun fact, their flag has Hercules and 2 lions on it. Andalusia is the largest autonomy in size and population with over 8.5 million people. It's the southernmost part of the Iberian Peninsula. It's basically on the Strait of Gibraltar. Basically, Andalusia was like the most heavily absorbed and influenced part of the Moorish conquests. And today, you still kind of see like that North African influence all over the place, especially in like architecture. And the people here actually speak with a very distinct Andalusian dialect. You even hear some Arabic influence in it. This is kind of the place with a lot of those, like, Spanish stereotypes, flamenco, bullfighting. Pablo Picasso was born here. Gazpacho. And this is also that place where they do the procession of Holy Week, and those guys wear those long caps that look like the Ku Klux Klan, but they're not the Ku Klux Klan. Don't get weirded out if you see it. Aragon. Capital, Zaragoza. Status, nationality. There's a joke. How do you get 10 Aragonese people in a Mini Cooper? You tell them they can't. Historically, Aragon was one of the many disjointed kingdoms.
Eso es verdad. Por favor, que me escriban en los comentarios si es verdad. Deberíamos hacer un video sobre los estereotipos de España, ¿no? De diferentes regiones.
Kingdoms back before Spain was unified in the medieval times. They actually had a confederacy that extended all the way to Italy back in the 15th century. Some people say that Spain was unified when Ferdinand of Aragon married Isabella of Castile, but that's up for dispute. Alright, I'm in the middle of filming.
Sorry, I just messed it up, didn't I?
Yeah, you ruined my life. They do have their own language, Aragonese, which is mostly kind of spoken by people in the mountains. They have some interesting traditions like the Jota dance and music. They have the Carnival de Bilsa. The famous painter Goya was from here. And it's the home of the Virgen de Pilar, the patron saint of Spain. The Principality of Asturias. Capital, Oviedo. Status,
Asturias.
Historical region. Why is it called a principality? According to a tradition that dates back to the 14th century.
Había reaccionado hace unos meses al himno de Asturias. Madre mía, buenísimo. Os voy a dejar todo, bueno, allá arriba, en la derecha, en este lado aquí, deberían recibir de vez en cuando algunos enlaces, por si quieren ver otros videos también.
Century, this place was designated to be the location used in the substantive title to heir apparent to the Spanish throne, meaning whoever is next in line for the monarchy is the prince or princess of Asturias. Today, the title belongs to Princess Leonor, the king's daughter. Otherwise, it's a pretty chill, laid-back place right next to the Bay of Biscay and the Cantabrian Mountains in the south. They do have their own Asturian language, however, it's not really widely spoken anymore. Lots of caves, like this one for Paleolithic art, and another one with a church in it, bagpipes, and cider. They love their cider out here. The Balearic Islands, the international party place. Capital, Palma. Status, nationality. Although it's funny because nobody actually calls themselves Balearic. They all kind of like self-identify with their corresponding island. So like Mallorca, they're Mallorcan. There's 4 main islands. It's in the Mediterranean. It's got that Mediterranean cool chill vibe. Like Catalonia, Catalan is co-official and spoken here. This castle is probably their most iconic site.
No, espera, madre mía. No, es que también he reaccionado a unos videos sobre las Islas Baleares. Madre mía, pero mira eso. Muy asombrante.
Great beaches. They have some really interesting foods. I've already explained this in the German Bundeslander video, but like Germans consider this area like their 17th state. You'll see Germans.
Sí. Y también estoy viendo que hay otro americano ahora que está reaccionando a muchos videos de Europa. Creo que se llama Europe. Bueno, me confundo con los idiomas. Europe Hits Different, algo así. Y ha reaccionado a Benidorm, que es una ciudad que dicen donde todos los ingleses van para emborracharse y bueno, hacer locuras. No lo sabía. Yo pensaba que era más en Islas Canarias, porque bueno, me acuerdo hace bastante tiempo cuando iba allá cada año, siempre había muchísimos alemanes y ingleses. Pero bueno, no sé, no sabía.
Everywhere. It's ridiculous. It's like there's even signs in German. Basque. Ooh, this is a fun one. Capital, Vitoria-Gasteiz. Status, nationality. Now, this is one of the most distinct regions in all of Spain. Basque people are very unique. They speak their own language, which is not even related to any other Indo-European language. They have a strong culture and identity that they hold on to very dearly. There's even Basque people in parts of France as well. They are one of the most rich and developed regions in all of Spain, and it's partially because they have like a special tax system. This gives them a little bit more autonomy than all the other communities. Now, here's the thing. At one point, they did kind of have like an independence movement, and it got a little ugly. Let's just put it this way. 46 seats out of the 75-seat parliament belong to pro-independence movement parties. Anyway, culturally, they have traditions like Herri Kirolak, the pilota or pelota sport, which is similar to squash. And a fun fact, the beret actually originated in Basque country. The Canary Islands. And yeah,
Pero yo quería que iba a decir algo más sobre el País Vasco, porque hay muchísimo para decir. Bueno, eso sí, de los deportes vascos había reaccionado hace muchos años, era muy interesante, una tradición que me encanta. Pero podía decir algo del equipo de fútbol, ¿no? Que para mí es muy interesante que, no sé si todavía es así, el Athletic Club, que tiene que tener todos los jugadores que sean de nacido o bueno, crecido allí o con ciudadanía de País Vasco, me imagino, no sé, antes era así, todavía sigue siendo así, era muy interesante para mí eso, me encantaba ese equipo por eso.
Yes, Canaries do actually originate from this area. Anywho, capital. Oh, jeez, it's very long. Santa Cruz de Tenerife and Las Palmas de Gran Canaria. Woo! Status, nationality.
No, son dos capitales entonces. No sabía que eran dos capitales.
Basically, the Hawaii of Spain. It's made of 7 main islands. There's great surfing. They're famous for their bananas.
Espera.
Hawaii of Spain. It's made of 7.
Yo había solo estado acá, en la isla de Lanzarote. No, Fuerteventura, no. Gran Canaria, no, ya, solo esos dos. He visitado todo en Gran Canaria y Lanzarote. Bueno, Lanzarote no parece, pero es bastante grande, ¿eh? Aquí parece muy pequeño, pero no lo es. Fuerteventura no. Me han dicho todo que Fuerteventura no hay mucho que hacer, pero no sé si es verdad, a ver. No sé. No tengo ni idea. Más palomas, la playa del inglés. Madre mía, no, eso era una locura, pero muy, quizás demasiado turístico, ¿no? Pero me encantaría también conocer Tenerife, bueno, Isla del Hierro, Isla de la Palma. Si no me equivoco, en la isla de La Gomera habían hecho una película italiana. Pero no sé, era una película muy rara, donde el tipo seguía yendo atrás en el tiempo.
7 main islands, there's great surfing, they're famous for their bananas and banana dishes. It's been said that they speak Spanish somewhat similar to the Caribbean Spanish. These islands were actually originally inhabited by the Guanches, which were cousins of the Berber people in North Africa. And today they still kind of retain some of that former Guanche culture. Like a lot of people here might still have Guanche names. And sometimes they sound very funny. Like I was told there's a test if you can tell if a name is a Canarian name or a Pokemon. They also have Mont Piede, the tallest point in all of Spain. But the coolest thing about these islands, in my opinion,
Ok, próxima reacción va a ser los nombres canarios.
is Silbo Gomero. And it's a communication system completely done within whistles. You can literally say entire sentences just by whistling.
What?
They actually teach it in schools. Cantabria. Capital, Santander. Status.
Eso es verdad. No. Este video me está dando demasiadas ideas para videos futuros. Espera. Voy a ponerlo acá. Lo siento mucho si he cubierto algo.
Historical region. This is another cold region of Spain. You know, they got the Cantabrian Mountains, which are named after them. They used to be a part of the region of Old Castile, but then they're like, nah, we're out. This area is actually named after the Cantabri, tribes of people that actually inhabited the area before the Romans came in. You can even see some of the ancient Cantabri symbols on things like their coat of arms. Today, they actually kind of retain some of the ancient Cantabrian traditions and culture. Let's see, famous for the La Vijerna festival, rooted in ancient pagan customs. Let's see, they also have a cave with cave paintings and a torture museum in Santillana del Mar. Oh, and they love anchovies here. Castile y León.
Había estado en un museo similar, creo, en San Marino. En el país de San Marino, creo que había estado en pasado en el Museo de la Tortura, algo así. Fue muy interesante. Puede que me equivoco, fue hace bastante tiempo.
Now, they don't have a capital officially. The main city where most of the government offices are located at is Valladolid. That's an interesting name. Status,
Valladolid.
historical region. Now, this is a large region, but very sparsely populated. It only has like 2.5 million people. This autonomous community was basically formed in 1983 when they smashed 9 former provinces together.
What do you want me to do?
Just go to the porch. I'll let you in. Historically, this place actually played a significant role in forming what is now Spain today. In fact, many people will refer to the standard dialect of Spanish spoken as Castilian, as this is basically where it came from. People here say that they speak the purest form of Spanish. Basically, at one point, there was a kingdom of Leon and a kingdom of Castile. In 1301, they merged together, and they pretty much never looked back since then. As the name implies, there's tons of castles and historical sites here. It's also the site of the first parliament in Europe. And what else? They love eating blood sausage here.
Oh,
Okay, Castilla-La Mancha, capital Toledo, status region. This is kind of like Castilla and Leon's like chill, cool, fun sister. People and things from here are called
el queso manchego, por favor. Tengo hambre ya. Ay, Dios mío. Me vas a decir manchego, voy a pensar enseguida al queso.
Manchengo, which if you guessed, yes, that's where Manchengo cheese comes from. Basically, you know that book Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes, probably the most iconic piece of Spanish literature? Yeah, that book basically sums up
Cuando viajé a Alcalá de Henares he visitado también el museo de San Miguel de Cervantes.
this place. It takes place
Muy
here.
interesante.
Big open fields with windmills. Toledo was known historically
Toledo
in
me
medieval
encanta.
times as like the place where all Christians, Jews, and Muslims kind of lived together side by side peacefully. At one point, they had a huge iron industry, which is kind of why this place is known for making like the best pocket knives and swords. Windmills, swords, and pocket knives. Woohoo. Catalonia, capital Barcelona. Status,
Barcelona.
nationality. The big guy. You've probably heard this one in the news a few times. I already did a video explaining the whole Catalonia thing, so I'm not even going to get into it too much. Quick distinction though, this is the Catalonia flag, this is the Catalonia independence flag, and this is the Catalonia Independence Communist Party flag. Make sure you know the difference between all three. In a nutshell, they are the second most populous autonomous region in Spain after Andalusia with about 7.5 million people, and they have the second largest city, Barcelona. Obviously, they speak their own language, Catalan, which is another Latin-based language like Spanish, but it sounds pretty different. I've heard it, and I would argue
I wouldn't say that it sounds very different. I would say it sounds more like Piemontese, you know? Wait, why is the... Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I don't know qué pasa con esos subtítulos. Pero decía, Diría que suena más como los dialectos acá en el norte de Italia y también algunos dialectos de Francia como Occitania o Occitan, ¿cómo se dice? No sé cómo se dice. Pero bueno, sí, por alguna razón puede ser por... no, ni idea, ni idea. Si sabéis por qué, escríbeme en los comentarios.
It's kind of like if Spanish and French had a baby, and they are very,
Me acuerdo todavía cuando... no me acuerdo cuándo fue. Ay, Dios. Había un partido que estaba viendo con el esposo de mi hermana y mi papá. Y habían entrevistado Piqué al final de ese partido. Y mi papá estaba... ¿Por qué Piqué está hablando en piemontés? Era muy divertido, era muy divertido. Después he ido a buscarlo y sí, suena bastante similar por alguna razón, pero no sé cuál es.
politically active, to say the least. Long story short, Catalonia makes a lot of money and they don't like being told how to run things. But culturally speaking, my favorite surrealist artist, Dali, was born here, as well as Antoni Gaudi. By the way, finish that church. Jeez, it's been almost like 200 years. They are known for making the castells,
Pronto, no?
or human towers. They have their own distinct Catalan cuisine. And one thing you might see a lot over here, this dude that's pooping. They love it. There's like statues and figurines of a guy pooping all the time. I don't know why they like.
Bueno, ¿qué hay de no? ¿Cómo no te va a gustar eso? ¿Cómo no te va a gustar eso? Me encanta.
Extremadura, capital Merida, status region. This place is kind of like the butt of all the jokes in Spain. It's very rural, relatively poor. It's like the West Virginia of Spain. It's actually a very important place for wildlife.
Madre
though. They
mía.
have one of these huge nature reserves. Apparently, many famous conquistadors were from here. They also have a really famous Roman theater, and there's also a metal band called Extremaduro. I was told to tell Keith that. But
Había reaccionado a Extremadura.
one thing they are known for is having pretty good food, specifically jamon. It's made from black Iberian pigs that roam freely instead of factory farmed pigs. Extremadura, they go extra on their jamon. Galicia, capital Santiago de Compostela, status nationality, the gateway to the Atlantic. Galicians are basically cousins to the Portuguese. Their language is pretty similar and sometimes intelligible to Portuguese, and they're unique in that they actually have some Celtic roots. Like the Celts actually inhabited this area a long time ago. Today you can actually even see lots of remnants of their Celtic past. One of the largest Catholic pilgrimages in the world happens in Santiago de Compostela. Unfortunately, it's also kind of known that this is kind of like the place where all the drugs come into Spain. But otherwise, they are seafood masters. Some of you guys commented on my Portugal video. You guys said that Galician octopus is better than Portuguese octopus. I don't know. I'd like to try it out for myself and see if that's true. Madrid, capital. Madrid. It's also the capital of the whole country. Status, region. This is where the center of government is obviously located. You have the Moncloa Palace, the Parliament, the Supreme Court, the Royal Palace. So obviously, politically speaking, this place is kind of a big deal. The people here are very metropolitan. They take huge pride in their Madrid identity. There's a saying, Madrid has everything but a beach. There's a lot of nicknames that people give to Madrid people. Everybody knows they have a really good soccer or football team. And honestly, there's so many cool sites. I can't even list them all. If you want to see Picasso's Guernica, it's actually in Madrid. I was so mad. I thought it was in Barcelona and I missed it. What's really cool is they actually have a real Egyptian temple. It was donated by Egypt and transported in the 60s. The other cool thing is that you gotta... How did you even get in my house? Of course, Madrid is obviously a food lover's haven. Calamari sandwiches, huevos estrellados, and churros actually originated from here.
Y el Museo del Jamón. Me acuerdo cuando estaba en Madrid que no tenía dinero ni nada. El Museo del Jamón me salvó la vida, básicamente. Con €1 te ibas a tomar ese bocadillo muy grande, madre mía. Eso fue hace mucho tiempo. Ahora mismo no creo que te vendan nada por €1.
Region of Murcia. No, I'm just kidding. It's Murcia. Capital, Murcia. Just like the region. Status, region. This is one that not a lot of people, including Spanish people, even know a lot about because it's kind of like off the beaten trail. It's kind of like the Charleston, South Carolina of Spain. It's like a cool place with chill vibes and beaches, but not too many people are going here because, Barcelona and Valencia are getting all the attention. It's got a lot of cool golf resorts, Roman ruins, and Carthaginian ruins. They are big on vegetable producing, and they have this interesting tradition called the burial of the sardine. It happens after Holy Week. they basically just burn a big
Me encanta.
I don't know. Spain has a lot of weird traditions. The Chartered Community of Navarre. Capital, Pamplona. Status, nationality. Now, this is a tricky one because there's a lot of backstory that gets tied in with modern identity claims. I mean, it's even called a chartered community because even the mapping took some time when they were trying to figure out how to draw this place. It used to be the Kingdom of Navarre, which was actually ruled by a Basque dude, and eventually the kingdom was dissolved and then split. It's a little controversial, but if you ask a Basque person, some of them might say that this place should belong to the Basque country. And like the Basque region, they also have their own special tax system, which gives them more autonomy. But aside from all that, they are known for having really good blackthorn liquor. They have that interesting...
Bueno, pero... No sé, algún día tenemos que reaccionar al sistema de impuestos de España. ¿Por qué todos los youtubers se van a Andorra entonces? ¿Sí? En muchas ciudades es muy diferente la taxación de impuestos. Acá en Italia es lo mismo en todos lados. Bueno, se van a... No quiero decir palabras muy malas, pero no es bueno para nada el sistema de impuestos en Italia. Por eso que mucha gente no paga los impuestos. Nada. Tenemos deuda.
Waldoon Fest in January. And you've probably seen the bull runs in Spain where people run with the bulls. Yeah, that happens here in Pamplona. La Rioja. Capital,
La Rioja, el mejor vino.
Region. The smallest region in size besides the Balearic Islands and the smallest in population besides the autonomous cities. It gets its name from Rio and Oja, which is the name of a river that passes through here. Sometimes this place is called the Zone of Seven Valleys because it's a wonderful source of rivers and tributaries that flow through. Basically, this place is wine country. The fertile valleys make it perfect for vineyards. They even have
El vino de la Rioja. Perdón, me encanta. Porque muchas veces cuando en la semana española en Lidl venden La Rioja, ese vino. Me encanta, es muy, pero muy rico.
Wine battle in the town of Haro. Wine cellars, wine shops, it all dominates the culture and industry here. Oh, and there's a really cool spa town, Arnedillo. Okay, Valencia. Capital, Valencia. Status, nationality. This is kind of like Catalonia's attractive, but kind of slightly more aggressive and troublesome little sister. I mean, the place is absolutely gorgeous, we all know. But it's also kind of known for being like the most politically corrupt area in Spain. I mean, everybody kind of knows about the Gürtel case. And to make things even more complicated, Valencian people will say that they have a Valencian language. But a lot of linguists and Catalonians will say it's basically a dialect of Catalan. I mean, yeah, there's a few small differences in pronunciation, spelling, and vocabulary, but basically we understand you. I was told Valencians are kind of obsessed with fire and explosions. They're known for the ninots, massive cardboard or papier-mâché monuments, and all of them are totally burned to the ground except for one, which is the winner. All while this is happening, the Mascleta shoot a barrage of fireworks in the...
Is it called pajas o faijas? No me acuerdo cuál es la palabra correcta, pero es algo similar, ¿no?
The streets. Food-wise, obviously they're known for Valencia oranges. And the most famous dish, paella. Paella to Valencia is like what pizza is to Naples, Italy. They invented it and they are very proud of it. Like, they don't even call it paella.
Nápoles me suda la polla de Nápoles. Todos en Italia comemos pizza y es como algo de, no sé, que nos representa, por favor.
It's made anywhere else. They call it arroz con cosas. Don't even get arroz con cosas, me encanta. And finally, that brings us to the autonomous cities and the plazas de soberanía. Now, we already kind of explained this in the Morocco episode. Check that video out. But in case you need a recap, basically, these 2 cities and 4 other small islands and 1 incredibly small peninsula are like the last remnants of Spain's larger former territory in Morocco. Now, even though treaties were established in the 19th century, obviously Morocco disputes these areas. It's even said that they were created by shooting a cannonball and wherever the cannonball landed would be the border. Probably not true, but that's the legend. Anywho, Ceuta is located conveniently on a narrow isthmus at the narrow Strait of Gibraltar. Originally, it was a strategic Phoenician military base and trading port. Long story short, in 1668, King Carlos II got it from Portugal. Similar, Melilla started with Phoenician, Punic, and Berber roots. And this place was actually even conquered earlier in the 15th century by this guy. Both of these cities, of course, have centuries-old fortification walls and towers. They both, of course, have lots of influence from Morocco.
Wow.
And even though they come at a dispute, these are actually kind of really cool, chill cities. They have a unique Spanish North African charm. The atmosphere is more European, of course. Lots of business and tourism. Although, you know, it's just the cities are kind of heavily bordered from the Morocco side, as it is kind of seen as like a backdoor entrance into the EU. In the past, there were even controversies of people getting caught in the barbed wire or dying trying to cross the border. So that's it. That's how you make a Spain.
Can we get pancakes yet? Dude, I'm waiting.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
so hungry.
Okay, fine. Let's go, Art. Let's get pancakes. And thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you learned a little bit about Spain. Now I gotta write some scripts. Stay cool. Stay tuned.
Muy bueno este video. Me ha dado una buena idea sobre las comunidades autónomas de España. Bueno, las regiones autónomas, no tanto las comunidades. Y nada, espero que os haya gustado. Y si hay algunos errores, por supuesto que me lo corrijan en los comentarios. Así puedo aprender más sobre España. En el futuro, muy pronto, voy a empezar a reaccionar a muchas regiones en detalle, ¿no? Y ciudades también, porque esa como Ceuta no sabía nada, Cantabria no sabía nada tampoco, y parecen lugares fuera del mundo. También Extremadura, madre mía. No, tenemos que reaccionar a muchos lugares que quiero aprender más sobre España. Bueno, os deseo un feliz domingo y nos vemos en el próximo video. Chao, chao.